one of the things that we have to deal with as esports fans and casters is that video games aren't like baseball, they aren't like basketball, they don't last forever. There's a finite amount of time, and you know, you can always boot up the Commodore 64 and play some of those old games, but it is one of the kind of bittersweet things about esports. But luckily, now we're moving on to a game that is in its heyday. This is League of Legends, man. We are going strong here too, but it does kind of remind you, someday we are going to have to say goodbye to League of Legends. But
yeah,
as Aragorn said at the end of Lord of the Rings, it is not this day. And then he turned around and said for Frodo, which doesn't apply here at all. But we've got an awesome finals anyway. OMG versus CJ Blaze. Listen to that crowd.
Man. Really crazy. I mean, the number of riot cops here, like shoving people out of the door, is ridiculous. And just as the last thing I want to say about Warcraft 3, big shout out to Freak, my old casting partner for Warcraft 3,
right?
Who of course now casts for Riot Games, and many of you know him, but a friend of mine, and a lot of memories came back in this tournament. It was really, really good to be here. So
awesome.
Well, we've got a hell of a finals, though, and this is actually the second finals for a CJ and his team today. It's the second Korea versus China finals, of course. IG going 2-0 against Frost at IEM Singapore, so Blaze maybe looking for a little bit of revenge on the Chinese.
Yeah, no kidding, man. I mean, they need to take this win here. Otherwise, they do not want their organization to go 0-2 in finals this weekend. It's impressive enough already that they've gotten to 2 finals, but then you don't want to be the second place team both times. That just kind of like ruins it a little bit. So we will see. There is CJ Blaze. Lustboy, of course, their support player, and an AD carry, a newcomer to the team. He used to be called Toby. Now we know him as Emperor. Strong Trinity Force AD carry, I would say.
Yeah, he's played exclusively, pretty much exclusively Corki. He had 1 game of Ezreal in this tournament, so now that Corki has been nerfed a little bit, he is able to pick that up without using a priority pick. Ambition, of course, in the mid lane. And this is a team, we keep talking about this, but they were the one-trick Warhorse. They really just farmed up and split pushed into the late game. Now they still do that. They really need to get their 2 main solo laner carries big, Ambition and Flame. But now they have more early game presence. They brought in one of the most aggressive gank-oriented junglers in the Korean scene in Daydream. Emperor meshing really well with Lustboy right now, a more aggressive duo lane as well. They draw a lot more jungle pressure than they used to with Captain Jack. And so they've got more presence. They are less likely to fall behind early now.
And that also gives their new jungler Daydream an opportunity to be much more present in a lot more lanes too, including the top lane, where you'll find none other than Flame himself. And this team is definitely a Blaze team, a CJ Blaze team on the rise right now. Which is strange because they're also going through these changes, but I feel like they genuinely have become stronger. They are poised to win this tournament, but what an incredible opponent they have to go up against today. It's not just OMG, it's like Super OMG. It's like when Shredder drank the ooze at the end of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret Reviews, and it became Super Shredder. That's what OMG is like today.
An apt analogy, Doa, for sure. And for those of you who don't know and haven't been watching this tournament before this point, OMG is not their normal team. They're actually only 3/5 of their normal team. They took out San and Koma, or San and Big Pomelo, their AD, and they have 2 options for support. And instead, they brought in Positive Energies duo lane of Name, a player formerly known as Devil, and Sika. So these guys just won the LPL Summer Finals against OMG, and now they've formed what is probably, if you had to pick a Chinese all-star team today, this is probably the team you would pick.
It is pretty terrifying. I mean, they were built to win WCG.
Yes.
They've gotten themselves so far. They've gotten to the finals. Can they do it? We just saw Sika. There is Name. Again, this bot lane taken from Positive Energy here in China to make this Super OMG team. And will they be able to do it? This is going to be an absolutely amazing best of 3. In the mid lane, we have, of course, the one, the only Cool.
So this tournament is being played on 3.13 if you're just joining us, and we do have Syndra, Olaf, Sivir, and Heimerdinger all globally banned, so you will not be seeing those champions today.
That's right.
Which does take a little bit, I think, away from Cool, of course, known for his Syndra play.
Well, I think just the game in general right now, Olaf became so strong.
Yes.
So to have him not there hurts a lot of teams, not just OMG. Loveland, their jungler, probably would have enjoyed playing Olaf if he would have had the chance.
Yeah, I mean, Loveland has had some really interesting play, though. He's now been focusing a lot more on Fiddlesticks jungle. We've seen that from him repeatedly recently, also from WE in the semifinal match. And there is going in the top lane.
That's right, going with one of the best IDs in all of China, in my opinion. I like that ID. It's a good one.
So, yeah, now, we've seen some pretty different styles come out of these two teams. Blaze has actually been relying a lot on Jin Zhao this tournament. They've kind of gone back after they faced it when Team Immunity played against him. All of a sudden, we see Daydream picking that up. We've also seen a lot of targeted bans at Daydream. Lee Sin, never really up for him to use. Also, Aatrox, one of his favorite champions, taken out. So, teams have tried to hit him. He's responded by reverting to a kind of older style jungle pick in Jin Zhao, but he's been highly successful.
Yeah. Well, this is just going to be an incredible match. And we're almost ready to get into picks and bans for game number 1. CJ Blaze versus Superpower OMG. I don't know, should I call them like Super OMG? They're just OMG sort of, but they're like the Super Saiyan version of OMG. So that's about it. This crowd is insanely huge, guys. And here we go. Picks and bans OMG versus CJ Blaze at the WCG Grand Finals here in China. Jackson Lee Sin, the first 2 bans.
Yeah, of course, Loveland, a very dangerous Lee Sin player as well, and they want to stop Flame on one of his best champions. Apparently, going not too interested in picking that one up early. As you can see, I guess the Chinese team doesn't feel like getting an order this game, a proper positional order. I know in the LPL they don't really do that.
They never do that in China, no. It's irritating, Monte Cristo. It irritates me.
I like the Shyvana ban as well. That has been really high priority for OMG throughout this entire tournament.
Yeah.
Guaranteed that they would first pick that if it was left up. So Kassadin taken away from Ambition too, probably a good idea. Now this may leave Ambition with a possible Riven pickup though, which is another champion that we've seen repeatedly banned against CJ Blaze.
That's true. I mean, this next ban for OMG is going to be pretty critical. They ban out Annie against Lustboy, and Lustboy really has been able to sort of become the Lustboy he always wanted to with these aggressive supports. So the Annie, a good ban there. And of course, Elise banned over on OMG, not wanting to leave that open for first pick, but it does leave open both Nidalee and Lucian. Will they go with this first pick Renekton, though?
And Orianna. I mean,
yeah.
Renekton, a typical first pickup for going, especially if Shyvana's off the table.
Makes sense.
So it's definitely one of his comfort champions.
Right.
And we could see that Nidalee pick up quite early here, but Lucian and Nunu going down. Now,
okay.
We saw Loveland playing some Nunu earlier on in this tournament. They may be trying to make him uncomfortable. That is probably, if they lock in Fiddle, going to be jungle, but you really don't know when OMG plays Fiddle where it's going. They have run it in both support and jungle positions.
Yeah, they've been playing, I believe in this tournament, I've seen most of OMG's games, and it's been only jungle so far. So we'll see. Of course, you know, with us casting the Korean scene, we never see jungle Fiddlesticks. It just doesn't exist there, but pretty popular here in China.
Yeah, certainly. We did see WE picking up last game as well.
Yep.
And there is the Ezreal. So a safety pick for Name. And
and immediately Nidalee.
So they're going to get a Korean power comp right now. Now, in the Korean scene, the Nidalee-Lucian combo has been really dominant because of its poke potential. And they can also take Thresh here, so they've got some great disengage, some great picks. They're looking really strong right now.
Yeah.
At least from, if you're talking about the Champions Winter meta, this is what teams want.
Yeah, this is like kind of the perfect team right now.
Yes.
If you are a Korean team playing in the Korean scene, but this is China where everybody wants to team fight. So how well do you think this comp is going to do against what OMG is bringing out?
I mean, so far, they do have some all-in potential, especially if the Fiddlesticks is going to be in the jungle, which looks like it is. However, they're not going to have the best engage, and you really need solid engage to deal with Siege.
Yeah.
They don't really have a good choice for the Orianna ball either, and Fiddlesticks, if you ward properly, he's never going to get the jump on you with Crowstorm. So I think it will really come down to CJ Blaze's ability to ward while they're sieging.
Well, another thing, too, is that traditionally we have seen Korean teams be better about warding than some of the other regions. You know, China specifically, where for a long time there's that roving gank squad, there's a lot of team fighting. Warding was kind of a little bit on the side as far as priorities for the Chinese team. So this could be a little bit of an edge for Blaze starting off here.
Yeah, they could pick Jace, or they could go for
Tryndamere.
All right, Flame did play Tryndamere earlier on in this tournament.
Nice.
They've got a very strong 4-1 split. There are really a couple of ways you could go right there. They have enough disengage with Nunu and Thresh ults, so you could go for a hard split push champion, or you could go for additional pokes such as Jace.
Yeah. I love this crowd. Nothing like an esports event in China, huh?
Yeah, they certainly draws the audience, that's for sure.
Well, here we go, guys. The lineup for CJ Blaze. Flame on Trinimir in the top lane. Daydream on Nunu. Ambition on Nidalee. Emperor playing Lucian. And finally, Lustboy on Thresh. So, like you said, Korean power comp. The 4-1 split push and that extreme siege from Nidalee Lucian. That is what every Korean team wants right now. Meanwhile, OMG going with Renekton in the top lane. Loveland on Fiddlesticks Cool, playing Orianna this game. Name on Ezreal. And finally, Sika on Sona down at support. And here we go, guys. The game is loading. The grand final, CJ Blaze versus OMG here at the World Cyber Games Grand Finals. Let's get in the game. And here we go, guys. Set one, OMG versus CJ Blaze. WCG Grand Finals here in Kunshan, China with Do and Monte Cristo. It's been a great week, but it's time to crown a champion.
So I am a bit concerned about OMG here. Now, my concern may be irrelevant because I've been concerned about their team compositions for most of this weekend, and they keep winning. Yeah. But at first blush, it does look a little bit risky to me. A little spear going through the brush right there.
It's good.
Yeah, well, they just needed to check for champions. They see Renekton's in there.
Yeah.
And they may be going for a 5-man and a pause.
Of course. And what would League of Legends at WCG be this week without a pause right through to the end? That's right. Well, it's time.
We're ending as we began.
That's right. We've gone beyond the game once again, Monte Cristo. It's time to do what we do best. It's time to fill time. You have a scarf.
I do.
You do.
I'm wearing an OMG scarf.
You're wearing an OMG scarf.
I know. It's actually really nice. I've been coveting these since I saw them at Worlds.
They're pretty cool scarves.
And I finally found the OMG fan club people who have been handing out about 1 million Thundersticks.
They're pretty awesome.
And commandeered an OMG scarf. So
you know the thing is though is I'll tell you again. They remind me of Gryffindor scarves from Harry Potter, and I know how much you hate Harry Potter. So sorry, man. It just looks like the Sorting Hat put you in Gryffindor with that thing on.
Oh, I should have gotten the blue one then instead of the red one.
I guess so. You would have been. No, blue is Ravenclaw, isn't it?
You tell me.
I know. Yeah, well, it would be. So then you just look like you're in Ravenclaw.
Oh, I guess.
You need the green one. I'm telling you, man, Slytherin. That's Monte Cristo school. And I am not Hufflepuff. Actually, well, it's just a dumb name, but maybe it's still a cool school. I don't know. I haven't been to Hogwarts. I haven't pointed at anything and been like Wingardium Leviosa, anything like that. Do you know any magic spells, Monte Cristo?
I don't know, but your phone just levitated off your desk.
It did. Well, I was pointing at it when I said Wingardium Leviosa, but no matter. My secret powers will be revealed, but so will the game. The pause has ended, and here we are, back at level 1, OMG versus CJ Blaze. Sometimes I accidentally levitate the wrong thing. It's quite embarrassing.
Well, coming into this game, so why I say I'm a little concerned is you really need a way to get in on one of these siege compositions.
Yeah.
Or you need to put them behind early. Now, Fiddlesticks isn't going to have a lot of presence pre-6, so that's a bit problematic because by the time that Fiddlesticks is able to deal a lot of damage, if CJ Blaze plays safely, they'll be about ready to start grouping up as part of that 4-man core.
Yeah.
So that's a little risky.
Oh, cool.
He doesn't get the ball in the brush, though. Yeah. He doesn't see anything.
Oh, man. This could be pretty close. He's got to do another one. Okay, there we go. Oh, man. That death sentence was pixels away from first blood for CJ Blaze.
They also got around the corner right there, so I'm not even sure if the ball saw them because he got it on the inside of the brush.
That's my question, too, but I think, why take the risk? Why not just go for it? Close call. They're going to be able to get this blue buff, though.
Of course, and this is the proper move right here. If you're facing a Fiddlesticks, go ahead and try and take his blue buff away. See what you can do. because he's not really going to be strong at level 1. If he happens to take Fear at level 1, I mean, he's pretty much just screwed in the jungle. So there's not a lot of level 1 threat right there. So going ahead and stealing it quickly. And Flame doing a bit of a jungle follow right here.
Yep, that's right. Wants to get a little bit of that XP before heading down to the bot lane for the 1v2. Makes sense. And they're just going to hand the double buffs over to Daydream on Nunu, of course. Fiddlesticks will get his blue buff, but he'll get CJ's this time around.
And look at this. Interesting play so far. Flame actually coming in for...
Yeah. They're going to do a level 1 dive here.
They're going to dive with their top laner.
I love it. I love this. I love it. What a statement from CJ Blaze coming in, going.
Oh.
Does he know what's going on? Well, I think he knows now. Here we go. The snowball slowing him down. There's a slice and dice. They got to get the flash, though. They really need the... Oh, they didn't get the flash.
Well, this is an interesting play. I really like what we're seeing from Blaze. They didn't have to dive right there. Instead, they can go ahead, dirty farm this wave, shove it up, and take a fast tower.
I see now.
This Fiddlesticks is going to add nothing to, like, in terms of damage to some kind of push right here. Flame now going back. He is going to lose XP, but not any more really than Going did. And instead, they may just take a very, very fast tower here. Of course, Lucian, known with his passive, he's really able to take down towers super, super quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting that double attack on the passive after using an ability really helps out. And they are going to get this first turret at like a 350 maybe.
Now, the question is, are they going to trade? Daydream actually getting a bit low there. Has to use Consume on one of the minions, but continues to zone it out. There's the tower. Will they take it in response? Loveland is down.
Now, it looks like the bottom tower for Blaze is going to get taken out as well, so they will be able to equalize, and Blaze just keeps pushing.
Well, I mean, why not? You have a Blood Boil early on here. You have the Lucian passive. You're going to win a tower race.
Yeah.
They have to respond. OMG has to respond, or they're going to lose a tier 2.
Yeah, we'll see what they decide to do. Ambition taking a lot of damage in that mid lane. Jessica striking, or Sika rather, striking the final blow on that bot turret.
Looks like Blaze was really prepared for this eventuality. I mean, one of the things you have to assume with OMG, and you have to be ready for, is Fiddle jungle and Yorick jungle. And they came in with a plan in order to deal with this. They got that Lucian pickup. And I was curious because Emperor just playing Corki the entire tournament. And I said, I wonder if he's trying to mind game people until the finals. And he's never played Lucian, even when it's been available. So maybe they may have fooled OMG into thinking that Lucian wasn't a priority pick for the Korean team.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, it seems to have worked so far. Still, though, a dead even game right now. Teams just trading turrets early on. Cool needs to make a run for it. There's a snowball, but no catch just yet, so no first blood for either side.
Yeah, well, I mean, Name farming really deep in the lane right now. They have a ward right there so they can see if anybody coming to help out Name, but looks like what Name was doing was actually just shoving it straight into the turret so that we didn't have flame freeze. So smart move right there. The lane will be able to push back towards OMG's side of the map.
Yeah. Ambition taking a lot of damage early on and a little bit down in CS as well, which makes sense. I mean, the zone from Orianna's ball really hard for any champion to deal with, but the question on everybody's mind, or the thought on everybody's mind, is, you know, will we see Ambition give up that first blood? Whenever he gets low on health early in the game.
Look at this, though.
Super early dragon being taken by CJ Blaze. I love it.
And this is another strategy that I think is very effective. I mean, of course, we see the 2v1 lane going bottom after the tower is destroyed. So not a lot of surprise there. So they do get a little bit of an edge in terms of that map control based on the turrets that have already been removed. But nothing they can do. But also, Chinese team's not really known for warding lane early in the game. And so they pop a pink ward down, but there's not even a ward there to destroy, and so they get a very early dragon, and they will take a lead.
Well, that's the thing, is these Chinese teams like to fight. They fight, and that's how they get their gold. That's how they get their leads, whereas Korea's much, much more objective-based, and we're seeing CJ Blaze get those objectives.
Well, the issue for Blaze is that OMG has done a lot better job of farming so far in this game. Flame really hasn't been able to get any CS. He is finally getting some as he catches the wave up in the top lane, but they need him to be stronger than Renekton, because if he can't split push, Tryndamere is a very one-dimensional champion. He's not going to do a lot in terms of team fighting, but he's an immensely powerful split pusher. So they got to get him big. And also, coming into this game, OMG knows that Nidalee is a power pick for CJ Blaze. I mean, that's obvious if you watch Korean League of Legends, and it's obvious if you watch CJ Blaze and have been seeing them for a long time. So I really like the pickup of Orianna by Cool. He's able to, he very successfully so far, zone Ambition off the minion waves, and it's a comfort pick for Cool. Cool has played Orianna repeatedly. We saw a lot of Orianna from Cool at Worlds, and he's gotten he had a pretty sizable CS lead, so.
Yeah. Well, another blue buff. Trying to zone out Daydream a little bit there. They really want to give this one to Loveland, and it looks like they'll be able to.
Are they going to go? They really want to deny this. Wow,
yeah,
Blaze
they
playing
do.
Pretty aggressively. This is risky.
It's a 2v3 as well. They don't know it, but now they do. Oh, Daydream gets feared. There's the shockwave, bringing Flame and Daydream. This could be first blood. It is. It goes to Loveland, and OMG with the blue buff and a pretty sick start.
Really not smart by CJ Blaze right there. You know, they didn't have eyes on it. Can he steal it though?
Oh,
Loveland blocks it, but gets an enormous chunk taken out of it. Cool will get the blue buff.
Yep. Good block though by Loveland.
Yeah, great shockwave too to pick that up by Cool. So it's a pretty nice advantage to have. Getting the blue buff finally, and that's going to hurt the siege potential of CJ Blaze here for the next couple of minutes. Orianna going to be much better at clearing out. We'll go get a blue of her own, however.
Yep. And it's a tense moment now for CJ Blaze. They really need to get something going here. Like we mentioned, they're down in CS. They're down a kill now. They're down that first blood gold.
Yeah, the only saving grace is that they did take out that dragon, so it has evened things up for them just a little bit, but Emperor also falling behind.
Yeah, he's been moving around the map so much trying to take turrets and objectives. He just hasn't had time to CS. Getting a little bit now, though, so we'll see how quickly he can catch up. He's only about 15-ish CS behind, so it could be worse.
Yeah, I mean, you can see just the legendary mechanics of these Chinese AD carries coming into play, of course.
Yeah.
Many people saying, I think correctly, that China tends to have, on average, the best AD carries in the world, and Aname really at the top of that right now. We did see Uzi switch over to the mid lane on Royal, so he's no longer available to be kind of crowned in China in that position. But Name, I mean, that's a pretty solid CS edge so early in the game.
Absolutely. And the big question now is, with Flame, he's caught up in CS, but can he get that lane presence? Can he get that split push start that he really needs? It's a little bit early for it, but I mean, right now, he just needs items.
Yeah. And one of the things from Blaze, too, is they haven't looked like a perfect team yet. OMG, I think, is the clear favorite in this match. And Blaze has been doing things like diving too deep, being very aggressive, over-committing to kills in this tournament. And it's hard to tell whether they're just not taking the game seriously or whether this is a real fault. I think that definitely in this game, that question will be answered. But it looks like they're already playing a little bit too aggressively at that blue buff and handing over that first blood. That's a situation they want to be in for sure.
It's true. I've always wondered, when Tryndamere uses his ability, what exactly is making the chicken sound? Like, is that just him?
Yeah, he must be.
He just I think it's
maybe
him.
he just summons the chicken head, which clucks for him.
Maybe. That could be. We really should have like a chicken Tryndamere skin where he's like dressed up like a giant chicken. And he just makes that sound with every ability. That's right. Sounds good. I've always wondered that.
His poultry shout,
that's right.
I like to call it. Well, Loveland's still trying to find somebody to ult onto right here, but good reading so far by Blaze. Nobody really taking the bait, nobody overextending too far in lane. Ambition and Flame both backing off when they sense danger.
Who's the chicken now, Flame?
It's him for recalling, clearly,
That's
though.
right.
Yeah, Loveland really not finding much here at all. He has that big ward. He's going
here
in.
He comes. Yeah, Crowstorm comes in.
Nope.
And he's going to do a great job of clearing that wave.
I mean, he was really looking for that one, but Ambition, even without the ward, they knew that he had rotated back in the mid lane via another ward, and so without vision in that river brush, just a good read there by Ambition, and that's a long cooldown on Crowstorm that's been used up.
It really is, yeah. Takes the weather a while to whip up another Crowstorm.
Has to find some more birds.
They really need to make like a, Sharknado Fiddlestick skin or something like that,
I like it.
Sharkstorm.
Sharkstorm.
Combination like Fizz and Fiddlesticks skin. Fizzlesticks. Well, Flame gets stunned. A little bit of damage taken out of him. He's going to have to spin away.
Yeah, going still having a pretty comfortable CS edge as well.
Yeah.
So OMG continuing to pull ahead a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to, and the thing is coming into this, we expected this to be a pretty close finals. Dragging up in just a couple seconds now.
That's right, and you can already see Blaze trying to make a play at this again.
Yeah.
But not able to quite clear that ward, of course. The melee from Nunu.
Is going to have to wait for Emperor and Lustboy to get down there. And will OMG contest this? Crowstorm is on cooldown.
The problem is that OMG is going to have a better 5-man.
Yeah. Oh, whoa! Daydream comes in hard onto Cool. They're going to do a lot of damage. There's a death sentence, and they're going to take out Cool. What a play! A flash snowball comes in from Daydream.
A blind flash too, because that bush was pink warded, so they had to guess correctly. So a very risky, but also ultimately very rewarding play. Now Blaze knew that they had to either get poke or a pick down right there, because with Tryndamere against Renekton, they would not probably win a 5v5 this early on in the game. So just smart play. Wow, that was impressive.
No kidding. And that's the type of plays you have to watch out for when you're playing against a team like CJ Blaze. Emperor still a bit down on CS right now. You know, again, across the board, CJ down a little bit. But they've been able to maintain this gold lead just by getting those dragons. It really is just the dragons so far for CJ Blaze.
Yeah, and take a look at GoGoing's build here, too. Double chain vest early on, so he's going for the raw stats, not wanting to really invest in the recipe gold in order to finish that Sunfire. He just wants to be able to trade effectively with this Tryndamere, not necessarily push the wave.
That makes sense. And the blue buff under contention now. I don't think Blaze wants to go in on this after what happened last time. Yeah, they're just going to give that blue buff over.
Again, this isn't a team. This isn't a composition where you really want to get down and dirty in the jungle with the enemy team. There's too much AoE coming out of OMG. Instead, it's about grouping. It's about sieging and poking people down until they have to forfeit the turret.
Right.
And it's also about getting Flame farmed and ahead enough that they're going to have to rotate somebody alongside Renekton to deal with him. Now, that said, OMG is doing a great job of stuffing Flame early. A top laner who's known for getting large CS leads on his opponent is down this game.
Yeah, down by about 20. It's almost unheard of that you see Flame in this position. It's interesting because we've seen Blaze run up against a lot of tough situations this week. I mean, just yesterday, they nearly lost a game to Lion Gaming from Mexico, who played fantastic. Like, that was a great game.
Lion Gaming, one of the real nice surprises from this tournament.
Oh, yeah.
They definitely showed that they deserve to be in the semifinals and had a pretty solid run before encountering Blaze, even giving Blaze, like you're saying, a run for their money in that game, too.
They really did, yeah. One of the best foreign team versus Korean team performances we've seen in the last year, at least.
Yeah, probably.
Very cool. So, GoGoing still just farming a little bit in that jungle, trying to maintain that CS lead over Flame, and it's getting better and better. 2 chain vests for him right now.
Interesting that we do see the boots of mobility onto Fiddlesticks early on here. A lot of the jungle fiddles, like for example in the last game that we saw when Clearlove was playing that jungle fiddle, he did go for actually no jungle items, just a Morello Nomicon starting out.
Yeah.
Loveland spent 1,000 gold on these boots early on, and it's not really paying off yet.
That's true. I mean, the first Crowstorm hit nothing.
And he's got no combat stats. I mean, he's got a Spirit Stone and boots of mobility. He cannot fight.
Even if he comes into a team fight, he'll just be insta-give.
Well, I mean, a couple spears and he could probably die right now from Ambition. It's a scary place if you're trying to defend a siege.
Yeah, very true. Spears coming in fast and furious now from Ambition. He's got that Athenes. And he's going to be doing a lot of damage already.
They have grouped up, though. They're 5-manning the mid lane right now. So Flame
CJ
left to farm alone. And are they going to, Coling is currently down, so they can't clear out the ward with it.
That's true. Oh, Ambition gets jumped on by GoGoing. They're going to stun him. Ambition has to be on the run. What happens with the rest of the team fight? Fear, or Silence rather, coming in from Loveland.
Yeah, the issue with rotating GoGoing into the mid lane right here is he doesn't have any MR, so he's still going to get chunked really hard by those spears.
Yeah.
This is a risky play from OMG. However, if they can get the mid turret, that's fantastic. Obviously, that'll pay off because you want to force the siege.
Here comes Flame. He may come in from behind. This is what Blaze is good at, these multi-angle engages, but it's a risky engage here.
They need a pick.
I don't know. Well, they tried with that death sentence. Didn't quite get it, though. Flame, this is such a tenuous moment here in this game. Yeah, jumps over the wall. Good move. And the thing is that we talked about the siege that Blaze have, but they also have a pretty strong...
Oh, he flashed.
Flash, and he didn't get the fear.
Oh, man. And now the fear makes him run away, so that cooldown down.
Well, that's tough for Loveland. There's Tryndamere fucking like a chicken. Loveland's the one who's scared, though. All right, well, Culling was just used to try to clear out some more of that wave.
Got a cannon minion here, though.
Yep, that's right. A little bit dangerous. They pull it off to the side. Nice. Oh, so nice. Wow, what a great counter siege from Blaze. That was incredible.
Really tenuous. You can see how high level both of these teams are. I mean, I liked OMG's decision right there. You know, they did force Tryndamere out of lane, so he couldn't farm that effectively. But there's a big wave pushing in right now, and the siege continuing. So OMG nearly getting that mid turret, and that would have been huge for them.
Really a tug of war here. between Blaze and OMG. There's a fear on the Flame. He got a little too close. Flash Crescendo locks up Emperor. There's the box. They're going to come in hard. Crow Swarm on the outside of the fight. Flame back away. Had to pop his ultimate. Going. Trying to chase down Emperor. 2 kills already, though, for Blaze as they disperse. Ambition